like you guys compared to the United States are like super polite and super nice. That's what everyone says. Like
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
Canadians are just the nicest.
That's like a whole other thing is like the Canadian versus American culture. I think about that a lot, because we live so close, like we're literally, neighbors, and I'm interested in American culture. We get a lot of US media, and Canadians love to point out the differences that we have. Like, oh, we're
Sure.
we're not American, we're Canadian.
Yeah.
And they like really emphasize it. And then, but when I'm in the States, I kind of feel like, oh, it's not that different. Like realistically, other than like, some outliers or more extreme cases, we're pretty similar, like culturally.
Yeah.
But then every time I go there, I do notice something a little bit different. So I'm like, there are differences, but it's kind of hard to really identify them, you
Yeah.
know?
Like you really gotta like comb through to find them, but they're there. And then it's kind of fun. Like I think it's kind of fun to compare like, oh, you guys say this, or like, oh, you do this, or like, what's that? Or I think that's
Yes.
cool.
And I used to always be a proponent for like the Canadian accent is like made up. Like, in like American TV shows, they always like put on this Canadian, like, hey,
Yes.
walking a boot and doing this and how about
Yeah.
this? And
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
sorry there. Sorry, bud. Sorry. And I was always like, oh, that's made up. Like, that's just in movies and stuff. It's not a real thing. And then I like, now that I make content full time, I edit a lot of my videos and I hear myself talking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way that I sound like that.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I don't hear it. I think we kind of sound similar, maybe because I'm from Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. It's only when like certain words, like if I say about, it's not like the extreme version of like the about, but there's like something with the vowel that sounds weird. And then sometimes with the word to as well. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I just hear it and I'm like, oh man, that's like definitely some Canadian coming out.
I'm gonna like keep an ear out.
Oh
For
no,
that.
don't do it. Don't do it.
I will. No, that literally fascinates me. And I get it a lot that people are like, even like people from the US that come here to Colombia and I meet them and they're like, where are you from? Like, where in the US are you from? And I'm like, yeah, Chicago. I'm from the Midwest. And they're like, yeah, but you don't sound like my friends from the Midwest. I'm like, well, my parents are from Wisconsin. So maybe that's where I get like more of like a northern. I don't know. But then my friends are like from Miami and California and they're like, whoa, your accent is so strong. And I'm like,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's all in comparison depending where you're coming from, I guess, right?
right. So I feel like us, I don't know, maybe it's like a northern thing that I feel like you sound completely normal, like
Yeah. Yeah, if you
neutral.
like went across the Canadian border, it wouldn't matter what side of the border you're on, you'd probably speak the same, right? Like it's not like as soon as you cross the border, your accent just immediately changes.
Imagine.
Like,
Oh my God.